morning, this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We're looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day's support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Sunday the 31st of January. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, looking at the hourly candlestick, slightly bearish start to the morning here. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid a fall through the pivot at 34,032 to take a run at the first major resistance level, say at 35,238. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break out from yesterday's high. That was at 34,929. So barring an extended crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 35,500 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Bitcoin test resistance at 37,000 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 36,134. A fall through the pivot level will bring the first major support level at 33,136 and the 23.6% fib at 33,008 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should stay clear of sub 32,000 levels. Second major support level sits at 31,930. Looking at the MACD, we've got a narrowing of the bullish histograms this morning, and we could see a possible bearish cross. Need to keep an eye on that. MACD suggesting an imminent move. On the EMAs, the 50 is holding its ground against the 100 and the 200, with the 100 pulling away from the 100, suggesting some possible upside through the day ahead. So key through the early part of the day, avoid a fall through the pivot at 34,032 and break back through yesterday's high 34,929 to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, the support levels will be in play. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, also bearish this morning. Ethereum's going to need to avoid a fallback through the pivot at 1372. Take a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 1417. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break back through to 1400 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, Ethereum could test resistance at 1500 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 1454. A fallback through the pivot will bring the first major support level sitting at 1335 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should stay clear of the second major support level sitting at 1290. Looking at the MACD, got a slight narrowing of the bullish histograms this morning, supporting this early pullback. On the EMA, 50 has held its ground against the 100 and 200, however, so nothing conclusive there as yet. So key through the early part of the day, avoid a fallback through the pivot at 1372 and break back through to 1400 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, the support levels will be in play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, also bearish start. Going to need to see Litecoin move back through the pivot at 132.69 to take a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 137.26. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break out from yesterday's high. It was at 136.34. So barring an extended crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Litecoin break through the second major resistance level at 140.92 to test resistance at 145 before any pullback. Failure to move back through the pivot level would bring the first major support level at 129.03 into play. Barring extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should stay clear of the second major support level at 124.46. The 38.2% fib at 125 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, we've got a narrowing of the bullish histograms, and we could see a possible bearish cross there, so we need to keep an eye on that through the early part of the day. On the EMA, nothing conclusive as yet, with the 50 holding its ground against the 100 and the 200, though bearish after the bearish cross early yesterday. So key through the early part of the day would be for Litecoin to move back through the pivot at 132.69 and break out from yesterday's high that was at 136.34 to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play. Moving across to Ripple's XRP against the US dollar. Bearish start to the day after yesterday's breakout. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid a fall through the pivot at 0.4136 to take a run at the first major resistance level, saying at 0.5485. Going to need to see another crypto rally for Ripple's XRP to break back through to 0.50 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect resistance at 0.5 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, should see Ripple's XRP break through that first major resistance level at 0.5485 and the 62% fib at 0.5522 to then target 0.6 levels before any pullback. A fall through the pivot level at 0.4136 would bring the 38.2% fib at 0.4070 and sub 0.4 levels into play before any recovery. In the event of an extended sell-off, could see Ripple's XRP test support at the 23.6% fib at 0.3172 before any recovery. Should see Ripple's XRP avoid the first major support level at 0.3094, however. Looking at the MACD, we've got a slight narrowing of the bullish histograms, but nothing suggestive of a bearish morning ahead. On the EMAs, the 50 has pulled away further from the 100 and the 200, signaling further upside for the day ahead. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 0.4136 and break back through to 0.5 levels to bring resistance levels into play.